Hello everyone, welcome back for another Sunday Shares. Vicki is taking a break this month, so I decided to do some ideas to share with you for ways to kind of use your supplies and make backgrounds. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to create my own stencil. Now they make these, I don't have them. I don't know why, because I like them, but I may have to purchase them. But I'm going to show you how to do it with what you have. I have taken a rectangle shape and I've kind of spaced it evenly here and about the same space at the bottom. The top is a little bit more. I'm going to shift that up afterwards and show you how to fix it. So I've taped this in place. Let me cut this one out. Okay. Save this because you can use this and sponge around the edge. I'm going to take, and I did get that cut out. Now I will tell you, I ran this back and forth and I did it at an angle back and forth several times. I then flipped it over and ran it back and forth several times. I used an old plate because I didn't want to mar this one up. I did it the other day and I shouldn't have. I should have used an old one. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to add some more cut out more at the top. All right, let me get a piece of paper, dark paper to put under it because then I can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to grab. All right, there. Now this piece I did cut it 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This I'm going to put in, and I'm going to go a little bit further. It's not going to be much, and I'm locking it in place, and you'll know if it's locked in place because it won't move. Yeah, there it goes. I can feel it locked in. I'm trying not to get it onto my red. All right, let me move that. And see, you can see that it's locked in place. If it's not locked in place, what'll happen is you'll get little tiny pieces. When I run this through, I'm only going to run it through the top part. I'm not going to run the whole thing through. So I'll put my plate here and only cut the top. Let me do that. Okay, this is what I mean by if you don't get it lined up, you get little tiny pieces. Sometimes they come off, sometimes they don't. If they don't come off, you can just easily cut them off. And I'm going to take this off. And I can get rid of this now. I'm going to take my pieces off here. And I have my my stencil. So let me grab my supplies and we'll make our card. Okay, I think I have everything. I pulled out the Penny Black Company of Flowers, and I've cut it out of green, yellow, and then my centers, which are these two here, are the hot pink. So I'm going to move this over to the side so I don't lose anything. And I've already lost the pink center. I'll find it. It'll show up. It's around here somewhere. I have my stencil that I made. I have a piece of hot pink as a layer. I have my layer of white, and I went for smaller. Normally a layer on an A2 size card is 4 1/4 by 4 by 5 1/4. I went by 3 3/4 by 5. So there's that. I also have my matte. I'm looking to see where the piece might be. Oh, it's over there. I found it. Good. That I'm going to use to do my blending on. I have some hot pink gems to put on there. I'm going to use a darker yellow. I went for a light yellow, and I'm going to try to do some layering. I'm going to do a darker yellow, and I pulled in some hot pink to do the tips. For my rectangle, I'm going to use Toffee Crunch, and I have blending brushes to use. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is this. I found that I really like to spin my stuff as I'm ink blending on it. So I had this that I purchased to do coloring on, and I just took a mat for a silhouette. I got stuff on it, I need to clean it. And I cut it down and I stick it in here, and that's on crooked. All right, there we go. I gotta get it on there straight. And I use that. If you have a grip mat, use a grip mat. I'm going to put this down. No. All right, I'm gonna go more in the center. And the reason being is that will allow me to put the stencil on top and center it. So I'm gonna watch my borders, and I'm gonna make them even. And this has got to go on straight, and it's not. I had my nails cut way back, so needless to say, I have no way to pick things up. When I hurt my knee, they put me on steroids for a few days, and it wrecked my nails, so we're working on getting them back to being decent. All right, I think I have it. Why does that still look crooked? I don't know why. Let me do the bottom. There we go. I think I got it that time. Yeah, I was using the top when I should have been using the bottom. I can see it better. All right, so I've got that, and it's close enough. All right, so now I'm going to take and I'm going to blend on some Toffee Crunch ink. So I'm going to start here. It's going to take me a while because this has never been used. So I have to build up the ink. But this is going to give it a really light frame, and you can go as dark as you want. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to speed it up. All right, I want to check my frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the top in place and pick up the bottom and look at it. And I think I'm going to stop at that. I might add a little bit more at the corners just to make it a little darker. This is a really light brown. All right, so I'm gonna, ooh. Okay, I am good with that. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to take this off, and I've got to clean my, I keep trying to pick up that corner and I'm messing it up. You know what? When all else fails, well, I can't get any of it off. There. Pick it up this way. And now gently remove it. Don't pull it fast and hard, or you're going to bend your paper. There. Okay. straighten out that corner. So there's my platform, so to speak, or my base for my card. Okay, and I'm just taking a baby wipe and I'm getting the brown off so I don't mess it up. Okay, there. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to put my flower down. Got to let that dry. Put that flower there, and I want that one there. All right, and I'm going to use my yellow, and I'm going to take my one, and I'm just going to kind of go out. All right, I'm going to do the same thing with these. And I will cut those stems off. You know what I didn't get? I didn't get a green. I should get a green and add some color to it. I'm going to have to do that. And now I'm going to do my tips with my Berrylicious. And I'm just going to barely touch the tips. Oops. All right. All right, let me take my flowers off. See if I can lift these. See, isn't that pretty? Lots of nice color. All right. And I'm gonna clean my mat off again. Now pink will stain it, but it won't hurt it. There's no getting the pink off, but that's fine. All right, let me take and get a green. Okay, I picked up or chose Pine Mountain to go with it, so I'm gonna put these down. And I just want to add a little bit of color to this. All right, that's not going to work. So I'm just going to go down the side. Just to give it some interest. And I probably should have done the other one on the outside also, but that's all right. No one will notice. I'll just add a little bit to the stems, not a lot. Okay, let me clean up again. All right, and I can move this out of the way. All right, we're ready to put our card together. So I'm going to pull in my card base, and I'm going to fold and burnish it. All right, I'm going to add my piece of pink and center it as best I can. That's kind of rough. Let me take and just kind of scrape it a little bit. I don't know if it helped. But see, this one has a wider border. And then this piece goes on top, and this will be a very narrow border. But I wanted more white to show. right. There. All right. Now it's time for our flowers, and I have to decide. I think I want that there, and I'm going to have to use glue to put it down. Now, when you do this panel first, and then do all your other pieces, because that'll give that glue time to dry, because the glue has to dry or this will not stick to it. And of course, naturally, all right, I am not going to worry about the stems. All right. I still can't find my tweezers. I'm not certain what I did with them. I have 2 pair. There's another pair around here somewhere. All right, I want to make sure that the top is within the frame. And now I can do this one. All right. I'm going to do this at an angle like so. All right, now it's time for the flowers. Before I can put my flowers down, I want to cut off this stem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and trim it off. This is a great way to add your pieces without having to worry about matching it up. All right, now this piece goes on like so. This is the key. You're going to take your time and add these pieces on top like so. That's why you use the glue, because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. And then we're going to do the same thing, and see, then no one will see the green, but it gives you a way to match it up. All right, just take your time, because the center is really tiny, and so you need to be able to maneuver it. All right, so the stem, because it is so narrow. There. All right, so there's our flowers, and all we have to do is add our centers. So I'm going to put a dot of glue there and a dot of glue there. I'm going to pick up my center, and I'm trying to feel. Okay, I think that's the back. That there. Okay. There. Like so. And now we need to add our gems. So let me get myself organized over here and stuff put away. I don't want to lose my template, my stencil. All right, let's start with a big one here and a little one here and another little one there, and then down here at the bottom I'm gonna put, I want it here, and a little one there. All right. And there's today's idea. And I used a stamp I had that was similar, and and I decorated the inside and the envelope. I hope you enjoyed today's Sunday share and that you'll come back and join me next Sunday for another way to make a background. Have a sensational Sunday. Bye.